That was on video.
I'm sorry. I just can't anymore.
12.5. Volume of pyramids and cones. Very short lesson today. Hey, it's going to take us maybe 10, a little more minutes. Hey, not a lot of time here. First of all, volume of a pyramid is your first theorem. I'm not going to talk about what a pyramid is. We've done that. You know that. Now, I talk about what volume is. We've done that. You know that also. Okay? The first theorem that we have is volume of a pyramid. Sure thing. You what? You got your pink sheet? That's the one that matters. No, I didn't. I just told you I did. Alright, volume of a pyramid. Volume equals 1/3 capital B times H. Capital B stands for area of the base. Okay, there's a lot of people in my other classes calling it just the base. So then they would get this hexagon. They would have this hexagon as a base, and it would tell you that this was 8, and they'd just be like, oh, that's 8. That's not what that means, right? No. The 8 is the side length. It's not the area of the base. You have to break this down and find the area of this hexagon. Okay, just like I talked about right before we started this lesson. You have to be able to find the area of those shapes. We've done that for about a week and a half or longer now. Questions on volume of pyramid? We found all this stuff. We've already found area of the base. We already know how to find height. I'll show you that in a second. We used it to find slant height. We're going to do it backwards this time. Okay, but we already can find all those things. Okay, so the only thing that's new is it's a new equation for us. Volume of a cone which a cone is just a pyramid with a circle as a base, right? Okay, so it's the same thing. Volume equals 1/3 area of the base times the height. What's another way I could write that? Instead of capital B, I could use pi r squared. Good. So I could do 1/3 pi r squared h. Are those two things in red and blue the exact same thing? Yeah. Because capital B stands for area of the base. In this case, it's a circle, and we know the area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay. We are. We're just plugging it into a different equation. We are doing the exact same thing day after day after day, just using a different equation each day, right? So you should have, one day we did volume of prisms and cylinders. You should have equations for that. Next day we did, surface area of prisms and cylinders. The next day we did surface area of pyramids and cones. You should have theorems for that. The next day we did volume of prisms and cylinders. You should have theorems for that. Today we're doing volumes of pyramids and cones. Okay? You should have 4 sets of theorems. So you should actually have a total of 8 theorems for this section, plus a couple out of 12.1. Okay, so it's the exact same thing over and over again, just plugging our things into different equations. Okay, so we're going to start here with a hexagonal pyramid. But we are going to make this pyramid oblique. Not bad. I messed this up though. There we go. Hey, we see what I got going on here? It's a hexagonal pyramid, but it's oblique, so it's kind of slanted on us. Now, when we measure height, What do you know about it? Yeah. But is it ever like from here down to here? Is it ever slanted? No, it's never slanted. It's always straight up and down. Okay? Again, we talked about that a long time ago. When you go to the doctor and they measure your height, do they measure it when you're standing like this, or do you go like this and measure it? Right? When you're standing straight up. Okay? It's never a slanted height. Okay? So, what we have here, we're going to say that this base is 2 feet. My height, notice I had to symbolize this a little bit differently because my prism is, or my pyramid is oblique, it's laid over a little bit, is 5 feet. Okay. So a lot of times they'll give you that height. Notice in your example 1 they gave it to you as 4. Okay. I want to find the volume. Now what I would tell you is I had in first period, when we were doing this theorem, this equation, people would be so focused on finding the area of the base, which you need, right? Okay, you need that. But then when they plugged it in, they'd forget the 1/3. So what I had students last class do, I had go ahead and set up your problem. Hey, do you know the area of the base? No. Maybe the height's 7. Set it up, then go find the area of your base. You guys get what I'm saying? Because we're forgetting other components of our equation. So here, if it were me, I would set up volume equals 1/3. I don't know the area of the base yet. I can find that though, and I'll go back and do that. But what's my height? 5. Okay, so I have my entire equation set up. I just need to take a second here, go back, find the area of my base. How do I find the area of a regular hexagon? Sorry? Okay, it's not going to be equilateral, but yeah. But draw your triangle, right? What you're getting at. And then you split it. So now instead of 2, this is 1 and 1, right? Okay, and then what would I do? 360 divided by 6, which gives me the central angle. Divided by 2, it gives me this angle as 30. Anybody do this any faster? Taylor? The height's going to be 1 square root of 3. Good. Because it's the short leg times the square root of 3. That's your 30-60 stuff we learned a couple months ago. Carly? Yeah, so that's the other way to do it. The way Taylor did it, she's going to probably get an exact answer. But yeah, you can do tangent, because tangent of 30 equals 1 over x, right? So then you multiply by x, you actually end up dividing by tangent of 30. And what do you get for that height? It's like 1.7 is the square root of 3. Now you're going to want to make sure to take that out to a handful of decimal places. You know what I mean? You don't want to round it too much and get the wrong answer. So what? 1.71. Give me 2 more. Yeah. You're taking 1 divided by the tangent of 30. Yeah. Because to get rid of this fraction, you got to multiply by x. So then you end up with this. X tangent of 30 equals 1. You got to get x by itself. So you got to divide by the tangent of 30. Okay? So x ended up being 1.71. 320. Okay, I would take it out that far if you're using that decimal place. I'm going to stop using this. So if one of you is doing that, go ahead and finish this out, and then we'll compare our answers in the end. Oh, sorry. Because I was thinking of that half. Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is an equilateral, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. area of this, so you would have just done your area of equilateral triangle, which would be fine also. Yeah, so there's a few ways you could solve this. So I have 2 times the square root of 3, right? Divided by 2, which gives me 1 square root of 3. But how many of these triangles do I have? So what do I actually get? So I have 6 square roots of 3. Okay, this is where you got to be careful. If you're giving me an exact answer, which if you get it to this point, you might as well just give me an exact answer. Because you shouldn't have to type any of this into your calculator. How do I multiply these 2 fractions? I get 6 square roots of 3 over 3. Can I reduce that? So I have 2 square roots of 3 over 1 times 5, which is 10 square roots of 3. If you can get to that point, you just go finish it out. Don't type it in your calculator. What's my label? Feet cubed. Because it's volume, right? Okay. Which, as a decimal, is 17.32. Did anybody get that same thing using the tangent? Okay. So you get the same answers. Okay, it's just if you're leaving it in exact form or you're rounding it. Okay. One more example here. I have a cone. Oop, that's not a cone, that's a triangle. Nope. Okay, so I have 4 inches here. I have 16 inches here. They show me that this is a right cone. Actually, I'll draw that in red so we know it's on the inside. It's a right cone because they showed that to me. I want to find the volume. Okay, so again, I would set this up and see what I'm missing. So I have 1/3 area of the base. Do I know that yet? No, but I can figure it out. But I know it's going to be pi r squared. I'm just plugging in. Do I know my height? What's 16? 16 is your slant height, which we would need for surface area, but I don't need it for volume, do I? So Vincent, how do I find the actual height? Not sure? Royal?
A squared plus B squared.
Why? This right triangle right here. Does everybody see that? Just like we did 2 lessons ago to find the slant height, except now we want the actual height. Okay? So I have 4 squared plus b squared equals 16 squared. 4 squared is plus b squared equals 256. So b squared equals 240. So b equals square root of 240. Can I break that down? Okay, Travis says 16. You could do 4. Hey, Travis went a little bit bigger and did square root of 16 times the square root of 15. This is a 4, and that doesn't reduce, right? Okay, so now that was my height. So I can plug my height in. 4 square roots of 15. I'm still missing the area of my base, which is what shape, Lainey?
Circle.
How do you find the area of a circle? Pi r squared. So pi r squared gives me 16 pi. Get them all?
Yep.
Thanks, buddy. Well,
You guys. It's all one thing.
that's all your assignment tomorrow? I'm just kidding. He's just messing with you. See, I don't accept that excuse. Okay? So now I just need to multiply everything together, right? What's 1/3 times 16 pi? Good. 16 pi over 3 times 4 square roots of 15. Top or bottom? Well, you could have it on the side, but I'm going to erase this, so don't write this. Isn't this times pi over 1? So isn't it the same thing? You see what I'm saying? Same thing. Now this is over 1 also. What can I multiply together on top? The 4 and 16, and I get 64. Then let's make sure we write this in the right order. Good. Pi square roots of 15 over 3. Can I reduce? I don't think so. Label. Good. Inches cubed. Okay. Some of you might have got a decimal answer. Hopefully at this point we're figuring out how not to get a decimal answer. Any questions? That's all the examples I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to let you get started on this assignment. Remember, your review for your test tomorrow is on your own. So when you finish this assignment, I'd be doing Chapter 12 review for yourself. I'm not collecting it. It's not an assignment. But for a lot of you, this is a very important test.
That's me. I'm right on the edge.
Right on the edge. That's you then. So you need to make sure you're doing your review. Some of you it's pass-fail. Some of you it's DC. Some of you it's CB, and so on.